I'm here with Eduardo Gorab, our head of global portfolio research and strategy, who led the inception of our first ever ISA Portfolio View report. Eduardo, what is the ISA Portfolio View? Where did it come from? How did it come about? And what is it all about?
Hi, Brian. Essentially, what the Portfolio View is the new home for a bunch of material that used to live in the latter chapters of our investment strategy annual. What the Portfolio View deals with is foundational questions about real estate. So questions about the role of real estate in a wider capital market context, questions about portfolio construction, questions about risk and how it all ties together.
And what are those questions that constitute the Portfolio View?
Yeah, so the Portfolio View is set out in 5 chapters, each pertaining to one of these questions. The first question that we deal with is why real estate? It seems like a simple and obvious question to ask. And essentially, what the chapter does is think about the characteristics of real estate, for example, it being a very large asset class. It thinks about real estate in a wider multi-asset context where we observe that the low correlation of real estate versus other asset classes suggests that there's diversification potential there for real estate. Now, the second chapter is why global, which deals with the size and diversity of real estate around the world and what implications for portfolio construction that has. Now, obviously, that comes with a significant number of caveats and considerations that investors have to take on board when they think about how precisely to do that. But the chapter essentially advocates for a global approach. Now, the third sector is why be sector smart. I think this chapter reflects on the idea that portfolios today look very different to the way that they did a decade ago. We have more logistics and residential and institutional portfolios. We've seen the emergence of niche sectors around the world. So what the chapter does is try to make sense of that. The fourth chapter is why be quadrant smart. And to be specific here, what we're really talking about is the 4 quadrants of real estate. That's thinking about public, private, debt, and equity. And there's a recognition that real estate comes in many flavors, essentially, but they're ultimately all underpinned by properties. The main points in this chapter are around our belief that listed real estate is real estate, that all of these flavors of real estate can play an integral part of portfolio construction, and that we can also use dislocation between the quadrants to act strategically. And the final chapter is entitled Why Manage Risk? And essentially what it does is it encapsulates our approach to investment risk management and its links back and forth to investment strategy.
So a lot of different topics to help our clients understand all the sort of considerations and complexities of building a real estate portfolio and its role in the broader multi-asset portfolio. A lot of different teams at LaSalle contributed to the Portfolio View. But for you specifically, Eduardo, which one of the pieces of this report did you find personally most interesting?
It's a really hard question, actually, to pick a single one. But if I really had to pick one, I am personally very interested in the interaction between public and private real estate. So some of the work that our colleagues in securities have done about thinking about the combination of public and private real estate portfolios, I found really, really interesting. There's a segment here in the work that shows that combining public and private portfolios enhances the sector mix of an investor's portfolio, one, but it also kind of enhances volatility adjusted returns of that portfolio. And I think the other bit that's super interesting is that using the signals from the public market can help us enhance that benefit even further by using pricing signals from the public market. So if I had to choose one, that would be it.
It's like being asked to choose which of your children is your favorite one, I guess. Eduardo, thanks for chatting through the ISA Portfolio View, which is now released on the Insight section of LaSalle.com. I encourage anybody listening to this who's interested to check it out. Thanks, Ed.
Absolutely. Thank you.